handful of presenters, a massive microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another delightful, delectable, and otherwise entertaining episode of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, TK, and on tonight's show, we should, all being well, have an Angel Duck song.
Hello.
We should have a Felis.
Hello.
And there should be a Xavier somewhere on the internet.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is. Now, ow.
And TK's dying.
Yeah, I'll keep trapping my headphone cable and stuff.
In stuff, you mean hair?
No, on my foot. It's a long cable.
People.
So hair on your foot.
In Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. So yes, this is...
How's that taste? Because, you know, I hear it
apparently
varies from person to person.
Well, from the people I've seen on YouTube, not too bad. But that's just from what I've seen on YouTube. So yes, this is episode 39 of Season 8 of TigerTails Radio. We are back in here for another 2 hours. Angel Dogsong is cunningly hiding behind his microphone tonight because he will just be sleeping throughout the entire show because he hasn't been to bed yet.
Well, by doing this, I can also speak during the show when I need to and take naps.
Yeah, and conveniently hidden so we can't see when he's sleeping.
I've stuck googly eyes on him so that if the microphone does slip, no one will know.
Ha 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 ha, a cunning plan, I feel.
No, you haven't.
He actually had to check as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, duh, of course he's gonna check. We don't trust you as far as we can throw you in regards to the googly eyes.
Microphone keeps going. Headphones even.
Oh yeah, headphones keep going.
It's great. It's brilliant because it's like the guy with a good job and lots of high pay grade looks like the lazy slacker, whereas Felis, who is the lazy slacker, looks like he should be in management.
Hey, I'm a slacker, but I'm not lazy about it.
He's managing the slacking, obviously.
Indeed.
With the swanky haircut.
I'm allowed to relax.
I've even got a nice little sort of Henry Cavill lick bit going here. It's quite nice today.
I'm saying nothing.
Quite pointedly so, I notice.
Indeed.
Hey, You've seen it first thing in the morning.
Why is the YouTube stream buffering?
I don't know.
Not for me, so no idea.
Fair enough. If the YouTube stream has cut out for everyone, yeah, let us know.
Yeah, there's no issue for the YouTube stream on the screen.
Let us know in about 30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, when everything catches up.
But we're not just going to sit here and wait, are we?
No, I'm asking Channel. Because, yeah, there is Channel. Hello to Red Ken DJ and Channel.
And by the time we ask and get a response, we can just watch the video.
Yeah. Da-ba-da-ba-da. So, how is everyone this week?
Apparently
Right.
very tired.
Yeah, tired's a word.
Even I am.
Yeah, the theme of the week.
Yeah.
Well, it was a semi-hectic weekend, certainly.
No, apparently it's just throwing a fit for me, so I'll just refresh.
Why has it been a semi-hectic weekend?
Well, he's been busy doing things or something.
Hey,
Well, yeah.
have you been busy?
Without us.
Yeah, I went down to see, like, Hedgie and TK and
Yeah.
got embroiled with the...
Oh, so we're right. He just didn't bother to
fight
text us
tournament
this
thing.
weekend.
Yeah, he did come down and didn't tell us.
Yeah,
What
I know.
What a bitch.
Well, you were, like, away, and in order to get Felis out of the house, I would actually get a car, go pick him up, and bring him round.
Besides which, whenever he does
Those
tell
people
you,
escort me.
whenever he does tell you two that he's down, you never show up.
I come on the Sunday. Every time he tells me, I say, I'll make time for him on the Sunday. And I do. I'm always here on the Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever he's here, it's a Sunday. And I'm tired because I got 3 hours sleep last night because fuck everything. That's mostly the reason.
Another night of 3 hours sleep.
Yeah, another one.
Bloody
Yay.
hell, man.
Whereas my sleeping pattern is still just all over the place.
Bastards.
And yet you look like the most refreshed one in the room.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
all over the place, but he still gets sleep.
Yeah, I'm like the rest
Actually,
of us.
we're now past the point where I'd normally be going to sleep for the last few days, so I'm actually fairly tired.
So, at any point of the show, Xavier will be fielding it alone because Will have all nodded off.
No,
Fuck you
I'll
all.
manage.
He says he'll manage.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll manage.
He
So yeah, it's TigerTails Radio, episode 39, the sleepy episode.
Yeah, it is. This is the season, Christmas, to be jolly and tired.
Oh my god. It's TigerTails Z.
No, because that's actually a band.
Is it?
Yes,
Yes,
like-
it
Really?
it's a hair metal band from Wales.
Alex.
And if you go to
Gather the
TigerTails,
Dragon Balls.
if you go to tigertails.co.uk, our site, the one with an S, then you will actually see a link to their site because we occasionally get misdirected traffic. Because people can't,
Occasionally.
and I occasionally get the misdirected emails. And I'm very nice, and I ping it back saying, actually, you want to send it to this address. And I get some thanks back from people, which is very nice. And I tweeted them about this. Actually, I went to their Twitter channel and said, look, I've been getting these, but yeah, it's cool because I'm forwarding it, and your fans are very nice. And not only did they say thanks, but then they followed me. I was like, okay, I'll follow you then. And now we're Twitter friends.
You're Twitter friends with a random band.
Yeah.
Which just confuses people searching for them even more.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking for TigerTails with a Z, but you're TigerTails with an S. What's the difference?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
The angularity of the letter, for the most part.
and it's kind of reversal because it's kind of backwards S, really, isn't it?
Ketchup. Catsup. Ketchup.
One's an 80s hair metal band, and the other one spells their name with a Z.
Oh.
Yeah, but I've actually listened to some of their music. It's actually quite good, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, that would explain the random link that I see on the website when I go there.
Well, I thought it would be a nice thing because, yeah, we are getting misdirected traffic that's designed to go to TigerTails, but they spelled it wrong. So I thought I'll just make their life that little bit easier. I'll be nice. I'll be a nice web host. It's not often you get those anymore. These days it's just here's an advert. But I thought, no, this isn't an advert. This is an actual link to the site you probably wanted to go to.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, there's been the Pirate Bay
Oh, yes, I need
cancelled and then being rehosted by Osai Hunt.
to find that new... the new
Are they actually rehosted, or is this one of the archived mirrors, or, we're totally real Pirate
copy
Bay.
of.
Pay to enter.
Nope, this is a genuine free-to-use ISO Hunt funded
Yeah.
copy.
Yeah, copy of.
Is it being repopulated with new links?
Yes, apparently. And when Pirate Bay comes back, they will basically hand the data over and then shut off the copy.
Well, this is
So I think.
Well, we can talk about this during the news bit as well, can't we?
We could.
Well, I thought I'd throw it in now because it's linked up with the advertising thing. Because one of the original creators of the Pirate Bay, having been released, made a comment on the fact that the Pirate Bay code literally got to the point where it's literally disgraceful and disgusting adverts.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And it's like one of the guys who originally created it is going, well, all these adverts, they suck.
It's also had the knock-on effect of taking down quite a few other torrent services that were hosted in the same building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Easy TV was one.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to get anywhere else to actually get a new episode of Korra, Shield, and Constantine. So
I'm now using Kick-Ass.
Oh, really?
yeah, I may have to.
Wow, scraping the barrel a bit there.
I was going to use Demonoid, but since most of the other torrent sites have been knocked out from most places, our government has finally gotten round to blocking Demonoid.
Oh no, Demonoid's still up for me.
Is
It's
it?
got to use the link.
You'll find a
Sky
proxy.
is not working with me.
I managed to get Demonoid the other day when I was looking for Street Fighter Assassin's Fist.
Is this PH or?
No, it's a different one now.
Ah.
I in the end just Google searched Demonoid and the right link came up, so that still works.
I may have to double check this.
It works for me.
Yeah, my only complaint with Kick-Ass is they like having their downloads as a folder with the contents in, so whenever I'm putting the files I want into my folders, I then have to take it out of the folder I've just created because of the download to get the file I want.
At least it's not a whole bunch of RAR files,
Yeah, they know
Yeah,
me.
which unzip a RAR file, which you then unzip and has a folder within a folder.
I'm lucky enough not to have encountered that. I've just encountered the RAR file singular. Well, I'll say singular. The many RAR files, but only one layer.
Yeah,
or
Ra's
the-
just Ra can suck a fuck.
The HD trailer for something, which comes with a sample folder.
That's annoying. It's like your trailer's 1.5 minutes long. Your sample's like 45 seconds. What's the point?
Or even an episode of a TV show with a sample folder. Because I'm like, okay, no, this is half an hour long. I don't think we need a sample thing, because even at a good bit rate and definition, it's only going to be a couple of 100 megabytes.
I'd say season 1, episode 1. If you're a new person doing the thing and people don't know if they can trust you, then yeah, a sample folder's fine.
Oh, the
When it's
sample is
season
just
4
literally a 30-second to 1 minute clip just showing off the quality of the thing that you're putting up.
Exactly. So if you're new to the scene and you've got a show and you're going to upload it regularly, you're going to want people to know that they can trust your upload, so give them a sample. For season 1, episode 1, we do not need a sample for season 4 or something, because quite frankly, no. People have been downloading from you.
Why? It's habit.
Yeah, but surely that's
It
more
becomes
additional work
habit.
for them. It's additional work.
Oh yeah, but it becomes habit. You get into the habit of always giving that one thing, and you keep on doing it because, as far as you're concerned, everyone wants it.
I just choose not to download it. It's like uTorrent says, what files do you want from this collection? And I say, yeah, this one, and that's it. just the file. And maybe the subtitles occasionally as well.
Well, I would be better caught up on some of these things if Amazon would actually let their streaming service work on anything other than a fucking Kindle Fire.
Yeah, let's not talk about Amazon.
Let's not.
Why not?
I don't know. They did shoot themselves in the foot for a...
We can fill an episode about Amazon, so let's not.
Yeah. Well, I will
I think
say,
we need
did you
to
hear about their...
I think we need to head into weeks.
Did you hear about their sale glitch?
You know that thing they said about let's not talk about
Oh,
Amazon?
no, this is a fun thing. Their sales thing went live, and a glitch in the system accidentally put thousands of products down to 1 cent.
It was a penny for us.
That's less than a penny for us.
Yeah, but you know, money market changeover doesn't mean anything on online.
None of that.
Anyway, so weeks, because we've managed to not break anything. It's 10 minutes in. How is our weeks? Let's start with the person who's asleep there.
I was going to say,
I'm not asleep. I'm just resting.
pining for the fjords.
You've not moved for a good 10 minutes.
He did. I saw him once.
Yep. Yeah, I moved. So screw you.
Ah, he's dreaming.
Well, my week has been... Well, I spent Wednesday to Friday essentially just lazing about and recuperating from my trip back from America.
DJ's saying the sales glitch wasn't Amazon's fault,
The One Piece stuff.
because it was someone else's system handling the prices.
So how was the America trip? Because that was over a show, so...
Yeah, America trip was good. Really fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's completely different being at an event than actually watching an event, gaming-wise.
Oh, he's so tired. Rockabye Alex there on the chairs, eating quite
You
loudly
have to do all the
without a
work
care.
here. I will answer your questions, but I'm not going to come up with stuff.
So how did you do in the tournament?
I did alright. I did better than I thought I would. And I got praised by the Japanese players who are, really good at the game. So it was all good.
How far through the pools did you get?
I didn't make it out pools.
No, I know that, but surely you didn't. Surely didn't fail in the first round of pools.
No, I went 2-1. I lost 2.
2-1 and you dropped out?
No, I lost 2 and 1-1, so I lost.
Oh.
So you won the first one, then lost your second and third.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm beginning to understand how these things work.
Yeah, I was about to say 2-1 and you dropped out. It was like, how harsh is that pool?
Yeah, well, I had the hardest pull as well out of everybody. So, out of all the UK people anyway. But, man.
What you gonna do?
I lost because I lost. I didn't lose because of the pull.
And aside from that, what else did you do on your America weekend? Anything good?
Went to Philadelphia, ate lots of food. Met people, ate food with people. That's about it. It was good fun. Got drunk. That was fun.
And then you came back in order to go away again.
Yeah, but I didn't go away again. No, I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go, I'll get it. No, actually, I can't be bothered. Well, in Winchester. And then I got off the coach, leaving the bag on the coach with my Vita in it. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I need to phone them
Did
up.
you get your Vita back?
I need to phone them up and to ask them if they've, On the plus side, my Vita has not been used because my account has not had money go out of it for games.
So where is your Vita currently?
I don't know. They probably have it in Lost and Found, but they'll have to arrange to bring it down here. I guess. I haven't spoken to them yet.
I would.
You get about a month before they chuck stuff away.
I really would.
Okay.
So, Alex, we're going to leave to sleep on the couch. Felis.
I will interject.
Hello. I
How
was
was
not
your
doing
week?
other things.
Really? Because it looks like you're looking up gaming news.
He's playing
No,
games.
I was organising the gaming news.
I see.
And also, I
Oh,
was
playing
persisting-
Candy Crush.
I was congratulating myself for not being really mean to Alex. He said I'm awake enough to answer your questions. I was going to go, a train leaves Denver traveling at 102 miles per hour.
Oh, you want to go into this
She
topic?
had £3.50 in her pocket.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you've been looking at my cheat sheet again, haven't you?
Yep.
Well, there was a YouTube video that went up from a guy called Domix who does like little animations, and it was basically about wasting time. And somebody put up a question in the channel, the comments section. Basically, two trains on a head-on collision course at 30 miles an hour each. Loads of other random factors, and then the final question of how many survivors. I answered the question with a factually correct answer. Giving two variations depending on the types of trains involved.
I read it. It was quite impressive.
There was science up in
Yeah.
that bitch.
Except that it turned out that it was
all I
wrong.
could say upon reading it was, no.
It turned out he was wrong all along because the person was asking where you buried the survivors, and
Nope.
TK got so caught up in the research.
No, he just said how many survivors. So I answered with the number of survivors and the
Yeah.
number of fatalities.
I'm currently rejecting your reality and substituting my puns.
Yeah, sadly your puns have no business here.
Neither is it buns. But anyway, Felis.
My week! It has mostly been spent preparing for funerals.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, the funeral was within, like a week and a bit of my grandfather dying because it was the first spot available before the end of January.
Right, that makes sense.
How many people are sort of dead during Christmas? They're backed up until the end of next month.
Well, it's all the old people dying because they can't afford the winter fuel costs.
Damn Tories!
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up the obvious answer, but now it's been said.
What, damn Tories or
Yeah.
loads of old people?
Both. You see, you don't get this problem during summer. Everyone says, "Oh, winter is the best season." Yeah, it kills off all the elderly. That's a great season. Happy Christmas, folks.
I'm usually consistent. I prefer autumn. It's just cool enough I can wear a long coat, but also not so warm that I can't breathe.
You see, I prefer the summer. Give me sweltering heat any day.
I'd rather. You just want to live in this giant humidor, don't you?
No, because I don't really like the humidity. It's just the heat I like.
That sounds horrible.
Oh god, TK's one of those assholes. Going, at least it's a dry heat.
Except we don't get that in this country, do we? So I can't. But yeah, I'm one of those assholes.
Rarely get it. And
We
it
don't
depends
get
on
it.
who you are.
We don't get
Apart
it full
from
stop.
that, it's been spent getting Christmas stuff together, arranging trips, sorting out all of the things.
All of the things.
Trips with the obvious quotation marks. Are we talking trips to see people or trips downstairs?
I live downstairs now.
I was trying to lead into killing off the annoying flatmate, but never mind.
Oh no, he's upstairs.
And you don't really trip upstairs. It's quite difficult. I mean, it's doable.
I don't know how he managed it 3 times.
I believe the answer to that question is drunk.
Oh, that's actually more than plausible.
So, TK, how's your
He
week
had a
been?
great weekend at the Princess Trust.
As you do.
Yeah.
I was going to come back up to Alex, but I think he has actually more or less dozed off at this point.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Lies and slander.
Slander lies.
Who's awake?
TK,
Yes.
your week.
My week has been full of work. You know that week when you've worked after having most of the month off, but then it's like every day feels like a Monday. That
Yeah.
was my week. Every day felt like a Monday. Every single fucking day was a Monday. And I hated it. They were all long. They were all slow. They were all annoying. And I was not happy. I mean, and it was a fairly late shift. It was a 9:30 to 5:30. So normally I enjoy those shifts because they're late enough in the day for me to get a lay in, but early enough so that you don't finish last with all the people who are on the 6 o'clock finishing shift. So you still feel like you're kind of skiving the last half hour of work, even when you're not. But I didn't have any patience for it last week whatsoever. This week so far, the whole Monday, the day that's actually been a Monday, I've actually felt a lot better for some reason. Despite the fact I only got 3 hours sleep last night, I've actually been quite chirpy and perky and awake and not pissed off about everything. So I'm going, was that my period last week? Is that what it is? You know, 'cause men have periods. Not obviously the physical bleeding stuff, but they definitely get the mood swings. And I was like, was I on mine last week? Is this what it was? Is this the thing? Is this how it goes down now? But I am still quite pissed off about a certain subject that's nothing work related, which is nice. And it's Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And it's a prick. And it can die in a fire. You know, I was moaning that characters like Hwarong didn't have their Dobok available in the thing to buy and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've discovered they are in the game. You can get King Armor King's Beast costumes that I've purchased on Tekken Revolution, and you can get Hwarong's Dobok. But you have to unlock them, which is fine.
Right.
I don't mind unlocking things. It's the method of unlocking that can suck a fucking die.
Okay, how do you unlock it?
When you're playing the ghost battles, every now and again there'll be a battle in gold, which you can choose to take. If you defeat the gold pairing, you are then awarded rewards based on whichever the lead character was. These can be item customizations in the form of costume pieces, or banners, or artist panels, or the LED background things for the opening sequences. And in order to unlock the costume pieces that I need, Hwarong's Dobok and Armor King's Beast uniforms, I have to defeat the gold ghost challenge versions of those characters. So in other words, I need to play the ghost battle enough to get a gold battle where King, Armor King, or Hwarong is the lead character, win, and then hope the game gives me the costume pieces I want.
So you seem to hesitate an awful lot. Is that because you're getting just as distracted by the distant voice of Brian Blessed as I am?
No, actually I can't hear Brian Blessed.
Yeah, that's okay then.
It's just trying not to just rage out and flip a table with annoyance, because fuck everything. Fuck that game so hard.
I'm just imagining like putting up a whole montage of anger for TK.
Yeah, I need it.
The bad thing is he will play.
Barraman!
Yeah, he will play that game repeatedly though.
He will.
I want King's Beast costume, but it's such a low percentage random chance. It's just so annoying. It's like I'm going to be a fucking god at that game by the time I've unlocked all the costume pieces I actually want, and not through choice either. It's so rage-worthy. It's just not fair. So yeah, that's my annoyance of the week. I'm going to be playing a lot of
I guess you could say that you will be the king of Iron Fist.
Indeed. I'm going to have fucking Iron Fist as well by the time. My muscles are going to be like huge.
There you go. Well, my week.
It's like, why does your arm look like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My week last week has mostly been filled with training.
As in traveling by
Taking
train?
trains, or we need a montage?
No, as in training for work. Basically, it's
I've got that on a button.
process and methodology work training.
So we're going to tell you how to do your job like you're an idiot training.
No, more like how to problem solve, the methodology you use to identify problem areas by actually finding where the problem area is, rather than going, well, clearly it's the workforce. And some other stuff to help me into a job role that I'm wanting to work into. There's a second half of the course which is a more, leading through learning, so being able to communicate how to solve the problems to the workforce. But it was a really good week. It was lots of methodology words, thinking, and
Methodology.
ways of thinking. Yeah, words.
Stuff.
No, I just oh god, it's spreading.
Methodology.
Yes.
The worst thing is, I was having that training for 3 constant days, and then on the Friday had to go back on the phones.
Ha ha.
So it's like a gear change of mindset to how to solve problems to speaking with customers.
And solving their pathetic complaints. Oh, I'm dying! Can I insure me? No, fuck off. You laugh. That's pretty much your job, isn't it, Pete?
Well, mostly it's they call up to say I'm making a claim rather than can you insure me. But it boils down certain essential factors.
It boils down to no, fuck off.
Well, actually, we're trying to avoid saying that. Strangely enough,
it's like we will find the most obscure reason why we can't cover you. And when I say can't, I mean won't.
Strangely enough, it's not that. It's more of a case of, right, have you done what you need to do for us to cover you? So have you seen your GP? No. Go see your GP. Don't want to. Then we can't cover you. Why not? Because it's part of the terms and conditions?
Yeah.
That's not fair. Did you read your terms and conditions when you signed the contract?
Sorry, mate, but do you have a private GP? Oh, that's right. I don't think there are any, are there? So
There are private GPs.
Can you?
Yeah, there are private GPs.
Oh. So who pays for them then?
Yeah. Normally you pay for them if it's private.
So why doesn't your insurance cover them?
Because it's a GP.
And? It's still health related.
It's not yeah, it's health related, but it's not a specialist consultant. It's not the specialism investigating it. It's the guy who's a GP who's gone, well, I'll get more money for charging for the appointments, not via the NHS.
And this is how they get you, folks. This is how they get you. It's
Well,
like,
the
yes,
worst
have you
one
done
is-
everything we need? By the way, our list of things we need are obscure and long. Have fun, kiddies.
Never ending.
Seeing your GP is not obscure to one. The worst one is they'll pick the option not to have any cover for basic consultations and tests. Then they'll call up to get a basic consultation or test authorised.
Yeah, that's smart.
And you sit there and you go, but you didn't select that option. That's not fair. You didn't select that option.
Well, that's what the NHS is there for, kiddies, so you can have these basic tests. Now, sit on the waiting list for 10 years, and then after you've died, you'll get your tests. It's called a post-mortem. Far more effective. And quicker, too. You get post-mortem within hours, normally.
Dear me. So yeah, that's mostly my week with training. The weekend I came down to see TK and Hedge.
Yep. And we stayed up all night watching the Capcom Cup.
Yeah, well, late into the bloody morning.
And then analysing the Street Fighter 5 video that came afterwards.
Street Fighter 5 and the Street Fighter 4 fights as well, which was quite impressive. Did you? I'm going to ask Alex under the assumption he'll say no. Did you watch any of the Capcom Cup?
Bits and pieces. I was in London on Saturday, so I sort of watched it there. I was on in the background. So not really.
I said no. He was too busy not sleeping.
Bless.
Unlike now.
I've also got the last of my Christmas shopping to try and sort out because I've been running around. I mean, I've got cards for work to sort out for tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's my job after now.
I've got to try and do that.
Yeah.
I might not, just not bother.
Well, my next payday is, and when I've got to try to get the last of the Christmas shopping done, is Christmas Eve.
Oh, you've got that one this time.
Yeah.
Mine is this coming Friday. I can't wait.
TK, Loneski.
Mine's today.
Scratch that. Pete! I've always liked you.
There's a sentence that could be very worrying.
Not can be. Is.
Well, I think that wraps up our weeks
Hang
quite
on.
easily.
Pete, I've always liked you. I've got that.
I think we need to move into gaming news quite swiftly.
I disagree.
You only disagree because you haven't looked for anything.
Huh? No, I disagree because I've got the jingle cube. That's why I disagree.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought that
So
was
what you mean is that I should really, really stop talking right
Now
about...
it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
to now.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, not quite. Yeah.
See, it's not fair because you can actually see what I'm doing because your camera's real time.
Yes,
you
I
can
make
see
sure
me.
that we have both streams up at the same time.
So you can see my arms and what I'm doing, so you can see when I'm actually cueing the music. which is kind of cheating. And DJ's gloating. He says he's done all his shopping.
Dear me. Anyway, so gaming news. This is where we troll through last week's news to see if there's anything interesting to talk about. Starting off, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Destiny topped the US console game sales in 2014.
No one is surprised.
Activision also claims Skylanders was the #1 kid franchise for November.
No one cares.
Actually, I think me and Alex were talking about this as well.
What's that?
When we were saying how the Amiibos aren't going to catch on because pretty much Disney Infinity and Skylanders, especially Skylanders, has got that whole market fucking cornered.
And
Yeah, Amiibos. What about the Amiibos, eh? $20,000 for an Amiibo.
not for this one. My one was nice and cheap. My lovely Foxy Fox.
So I just,
Well,
just
tying
random
into
TK
the
going, my fox,
Amiibos.
my fox, my lovely Foxy Fox.
What does the
Dear God.
fox say?
Nintendo has said that certain sold-out Amiibo may return at a later stage. And apparently this is due to stock shortages of certain Series 1.
Yeah.
I can finally get hold of my dual-arm cannon-wielding Samus.
No.
Oh.
No, this is Marth, Villager, and the Wii Fit Trainer.
Really?
They sold out of Marth, Villager, and the Wii Fit
How
Trainer.
the hell
Okay,
do they
Marth, I can understand.
Villager?
Villager, I can
Just
kind
about.
of see. Just about. What the fuck?
Wii Fit Trainer? What do they do?
Yeah,
Make
and-
4 of them.
This is addition to the common figures, including Yoshi and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Yoshi you can't get for love nor money without paying through the nose these days. I was going to get Yoshi for Christmas for Hedgie, and then I saw the prices, and I was like, hey, no. I got
Let's see
myself,
it.
I got myself Fox, and that was at regular Amiibo price of a tenner. And then I looked at Yoshi, and it was like nearly 25 quid, and I was like, yeah, that can suck a fucking die. Instantly.
Well, actually, Fox, Link, and Samus are the only ones available on Amazon UK still, out of the original 12.
Yeah, I got mine on Amazon. And it was $9.99 when I got it. I don't know what the price is now.
Wii Fit Trainer is £31.99.
Fucking hell.
Marth, $39.99. Guess how much Animal Crossing Villager is?
80 quid.
No, bit lower.
Bit lower. $79.99. That was a bit lower.
This is a little bit more lower.
$75.99.
Although, TK.
Take the first number down a bit.
$69.99. $49.99.
Up a bit.
$59.99.
Close enough. $55.99.
Ah,
I was going to go $59.98.
I see. So how
Although
much?
even second hand, the more common ones for Mario and Link from CX, 18 quid. The rarer ones for 30 quid.
How much is Fox going for at the moment? Have I increased my investment?
By the time second wave comes out, yes. Although yours is unpackaged, so it will probably drop in price significantly.
I've still got the box.
So, any news from the room then?
For TK, if he looks at his messages.
Is it Tekken related?
No.
No, should actually have some news, most of which is relevant to his interests.
Okay.
So,
And
whips,
some funny
chains, and
ones.
leather.
No, I'm not into whips, thank you.
But let me
Oh, shit.
just pick a random thing.
What? Why are you sending me things about paedophiles? That's not my interest.
No, this one is funny if you read through it.
Okay. Fucker.
So, you remember last week we were just pulling up the results of the Game Awards.
Yes.
Yes.
It turns out they had a massive audience for a first-year Game Award show.
Yeah.
How massive?
Because this wasn't actually the Game Awards. This was just the Video Game Awards. It was just Game Awards. And seeing it is sort of a couple of the guys that did do the VGAs, they actually managed to blow the final VGA completely out of the water with their inaugural show.
Was that the one that had the Sony conference immediately afterwards?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because
But,
apparently
they-
that one did really, really well for a first-time event.
It was the Sony announcement, I know, because they've released confirmation that the Sony Game of the Year is Shadows of Mordor.
Well, this is actually kind of weird because they had no marketing budget or any TV spots or anything else. You know, there were no promotional teams or media teams or PR teams, and they managed to get 2 million people tuning in.
Not bad.
Yeah, this is a 75% increase to the final Spike TV Video Game Awards from last year.
Oh shit! Really? Well, mind you, the Spike VGAs were terrible.
They did. They were terrible. This is the ex-host Jeff Keighley who's organised the entire thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Because he was shit in the
but
VGAs.
surprisingly,
What the hell? I am shocked. No wonder.
apparently, people watching the social media noticed that it actually had pretty much unanimously favourable views of it all the way through.
Based on most of the results done, what surprised me, they also had a huge number of exclusive announcements, which
They
have
managed to
contributed
get
to that.
nearly a dozen game reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, Tekken 7 video
Oh yeah.
reveals the new fighter Lucky Chloe.
Lucky Chloe.
Yeah, you know, the new fighter that everyone bitched about because
The
it's
anime
like a
cat girl.
Japanese kawaii girl.
Yeah.
I bring this up because this was one of the things that was briefly mentioned when I was around over the weekend. People in America were complaining about the fact that there's this Japanese anime girl in Tekken 7. And basically the guy who creates Tekken 7, I can't remember who it is.
Hamada, what's his face?
Yeah, basically came out and said, well, it's out there because it'll be there for the Japan and Asian market, and they really like it, so you're going to get a skinhead whilst the Japan and Asian market are going to get her.
And
Whereupon,
Europe are getting her as well.
oh yeah, and whereupon America went, but we like the cat girl.
I actually spent some time trawling through all of the fucking NeoGAF threads where this was all kicking off.
Oh, it was hilarious, just reviewing it a little bit. But she's apparently a young woman who wears a cat costume. Her background is yet to be revealed, so it's not sure whether or not she's supposed to represent Japanese idols or is merely a fan of anime or kawaii.
Is a specific subculture in Japan where people try to act as white as possible and cosplay. It's weird.
But it's due for general release February 2015, so we'll probably have a better idea of how she and a lot of the other characters are going to be at that point. And they're still asking for feedback on the possibility of a new Arab character in the game as well.
Cool. I just want to see how the Mashima storyline finishes. Because
It never will.
I didn't realise how interested I was in that storyline until they said this was going to be the final one. And then I sat down and thought, actually, I'm quite invested. I never really realised how invested in the storyline I was.
If I remember correctly, the storyline goes, there's one son of Heihachi who wants to kill him because he tried to drop into a volcano because he was going to grow up to be evil or something. But it turned out that's just Sao Yu with time travel, and
It's a combination because it's two families,
The Mishimas,
horribly interconnected.
the Mishimas and the Kazamas.
Yeah, and then throw in angels and devils.
Well, Kazuya has the devil gene. We're not quite sure how he got that. Hopefully that'll be tied up.
through Michael Crichton's grasp of genetics.
He then had sex with Jin Kazama and created Jin. Jin then spent 19 years growing up with his mother because Kazuya was a bad father. And ended up hating Heihachi and wanting to basically take over the Mishima Zaibotsu, which he ends up doing. Heihachi's all pissed and goes to take the Zaibotsu back, and the power struggle of who owns the Zaibotsu continues throughout the rest of the Tekken games. With basically each
Until
family member dicking over the other.
grandfather motherfucker turns up.
Didn't he adopt Lee?
Yes, Heihachi did adopt Li Chaolane, and I think that Lars is also a relative of Heihachi. But I'm not
The
entirely sure.
girl boy man thing.
No, that's Leo. Lars is the all boy. He's the one with the cape.
Yeah, Lars is the leather dude.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy in
The
the
fantastic
action,
hair.
Yeah.
in the action sequence that I played once, hated, and never went back to.
Yeah, that one.
Any more news from the room?
I had a little bit, surprisingly. And my phone just turned itself off, so let's go back into it. Yeah. Donkey Kong is suing Nintendo.
I thought Donkey Kong
He's
was
tired of
Nintendo.
working for peanuts.
pretty close. An actor who portrayed Donkey Kong in full costume during the summer of 2013 is suing for poor working conditions, which he said that led him to have a damaged heart. Parker Mills was hired to play the giant ape during a May 2013 launch event for Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, according to his attorney. In the lawsuit, he says that he wasn't allowed to take adequate breaks and wasn't provided ice packs required to keep him cool at the event at the LA Zoo. The attorney says that Mills suffered a tear in his arterial wall and had to undergo surgery to implant a heart defibrillator. Permanently.
Wow.
So, yeah, Nintendo basically fucked him over and ruined his life. And so, moral of the story, kids, if you're going to go fursuiting, make sure Nintendo isn't paying your paycheck when you do so. Basically. Oh, and buy easy cooldown vests, because they're the bomb. I've seen them now. I've seen them in the flesh. They are really effective, apparently, according to Weremoko, who allowed me to get one up close and personal with his vest pouches. Yeah. It's quite cool because they kind of fit in and out of the vest, and you can refreeze them independently. It's amazing. And
moving on.
yeah, okay.
Xbox One tops the US and UK console sales in November. This ended the PS4's 10-month winning streak in the States.
Yeah, who knew? It turns out that ditching the Kinect and thereby lowering the price of your console and focusing on games will get more people to buy your shit. Who knew?
I know, right? So Sony sat there going, us?
That and a lot of the massive price cuts during November helped them a lot as well. So,
and things like Black Friday.
Doesn't surprise me. I'd imagine there's still going to be stupid sales for both, because we're now looking at 13.5 for PS4 as of 30th September and at least 10 million Xbox One in November. But we're still so far away from PS3 and Xbox 360 numbers.
Yeah, well, we would be. They've been out for a long time now.
10 years plus.
Yeah, about 10 years. Or coming up to 10 years. I think about 9 or 8.
But companies are turning around saying we're not going to make 360 PS3 games. We're just going to focus on current gen.
Which is good.
We'll finally get some games for the current gen.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Well,
moving on, Assassin's Creed Unity Season Pass owners can redeem their free game this week.
Yay!
Free game?
Yes, if you recall, because of the issues, anyone who bought the Season Pass...
Yeah, they refunded the Season Passes.
No, they weren't refunding them.
Oh.
Instead, you could...
they're getting credits.
They're getting a free game instead. Yay.
Yep, so...
What was the free game?
This is one of either The Crew, Far Cry 4, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Rayman Legends, or Just Dance 2015.
I like how the first option there was another thing where the servers are still completely blocked.
It's like, hey guys, you bought the brand new Assassin's Creed? Well, since it was so shit, you can download the old one for free if you bought the Season Pass for the new one.
Because that one works!
And is amazing!
And has Constantine in it.
And ships.
The free game has to be on the same platform as your Assassin's Creed Unity copy.
That's only fair.
Yeah, I'd say that is actually fair.
So if you have bought the Season Pass, you've got until the 15th of March 2015 to redeem, and there is a step-by-step guide on how to claim the free games due to be published.
So the trick is to just buy the Season Passes and not buy the games. That way, you're only spending a fraction of the cost, and if everything fucks up, you've got a chance to get a free game out of it worth more than the cost of the Season Pass.
Let's not encourage that kind of thinking. Any more news from the room?
Does TK want to do the videos / abandonware?
I don't think I've seen that one yet. Hang on. Cover.
Do you want to start off this story whilst you're looking at it?
We'll try and find
Please.
We have Last Guardian news.
Oh god, you as well.
Oh my god, yes. This is the oh fuck, I clicked on the picture. There we go. This is Sony announcing that they're still doing the game, but they're going forward under completely new conditions.
Yeah, that I saw that and I went, what?
Yes. Which is basically them suggesting that they are going to be bringing it to PlayStation 4. Because, an entire console cycle has gone by since they announced it.
Don't want to say it, but is anyone else feeling Duke Nukem right now?
PlayStation 6.
I'm actually sad they're going, aren't they going to have to sort of recode the engine by now?
Yes, hence the reason new conditions completely redo the game.
Yeah.
Apparently Sony has promised to let the gaming press know if it is ever shelved, and mostly chooses not to talk about it until it has something more interesting to say than, yep, still happening, no ETA.
And apparently the reason it's taking so long is because they announced it too early.
Yeah, and they had to redo a lot of the development.
Because,
New console.
I'm pretty sure they started off when they're originally going to do it for the Mega Drive 32. And then that failed, so they've been working ever since.
Yeah, well, they were originally going to do it, I think, when the SNES announced it was going to have a CD add-on, and then...
Yeah, and then they're going to do it for the Dolphin.
Yeah, the article actually says it was planned for release on PS3 in 2011, so the announcement was about 3 years before then. 2008-ish. Believe it when I see it, let's be honest.
Somebody in the comments makes a very good comment, actually. Why would Sony waste any time and money trying to get the game on PS4 when it'd be easier to get it on the Vita?
Because they don't want to bring games out for the Vita anymore. Especially not anything with high production value.
Yeah, they're slowly closing down the Vita, hadn't you realised that?
I suppose a game like that wouldn't really work on the Vita because it requires a long time and investment, which is not really the Vita's MO. But still,
More news?
At least it's not as bad as the epic Final Fantasy VII trolling.
Oh god, no.
I still haven't gotten over that. That was brilliant.
Nintendo has revealed the US Pokemon, Smash Brothers, and Amiibo sales. 3DS games rack up 1.5 million sales. Wii U and interactive figures 710,000 each in terms of sales. So this is the combined launch of Pokemon Super Smash Bros. For Wii and Amiibo on the 21st of November. And they featured well enough to be on the company star performers for the entire year. So Ruby and Sapphire, 1.5 million copies during their first 10 days of availability in the US. And 3DS total sales jumped over 40% compared to the same month in 2013. Let's see the Amiibo stuff.
Actually fun. I've sat there going to somebody, they said, I missed out on getting this one fucking legendary. I've got to restart it all. And I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Just go beat the Elite Four again. It'll respawn. Like, since when has that been a thing? Since this game first released?
Yep.
On the Game Boy Color?
Back in the day.
Way back in the day, and it's been the same ever since. And this is actually like a main storyline event Pokemon. They will respawn if you just go sod off and defeat the Elite Four.
And they also mentioned the continuing games for 2015, which include Splatoon, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
I think I read that fanfic. It was
and
terrifying.
apparently codenamed Steam on the 3DS, and that's all in the first half of 2015.
Isn't everything codenamed Steam now? Everything's being
Feels like
re-released
it.
on Steam, whether you like it or not.
Any further news before we get into the Sony stuff?
Yes, let's go with some of the Microsoft stuff.
Well, when you say Sony stuff, what do you mean?
Partly stuff about the 20th anniversary edition consoles.
Okay, because I've got a little bit on that, so...
Yeah.
Sony and Evolution Drive Club, and maybe a bit on the Sony hack.
Okay, yeah, okay, so a bit of games, a bit of movies. Okay, yeah, Microsoft stuff first.
Okay, so first off, you can now buy Xbox games through the marketplace with Bitcoin. That's the joke. Did you just face microphone?
Yes.
Is he that asleep?
No, I think you just heard Microsoft, Xbox, Bitcoin and went, oh.
Yeah.
I gotta welcome
Because-
the sweet, sweet embrace of death.
Because the 30-second delay that I've got shows him quite plainly asleep.
But yeah, apparently you will now be able to use Bitcoin for games, apps, movies, and more because Microsoft have announced that they're working with the Bitcoin processor BitPay. Because, Eric Lockhart, who's the corporate vice president of the Universal Store at Microsoft. Where is it? For us, this is about giving people options and helping them do more on their devices and in the cloud.
The cloud.
Because it's not really a Microsoft press announcement without mentioning the cloud.
No, of course not.
It doesn't surprise me that they want to take on board the Bitcoin, because there's more and more people taking this on, and it's getting value. So it's gonna be a harder and harder argument to not do it the longer you leave it, because it's like it's another way of getting something that potentially could have serious value for the cost of a game. Any further news?
Yes, Microsoft are planning to hold a Windows 10 event at the Redmond campus sometime in January.
Hooray!
I was about to ask, what Red Mist campus?
I'm tired and I have a stammer, okay?
It's like the Redmond complex at Mistia. It's based in Silent Hill.
No, we never go there. We never go.
This is, of course, the Xbox head, Phil Spencer, who will be talking to people about consumer experience.
Yeah, here's an experience. Put the fucking start menu back in. Oh, look, you did. Product improved 100%.
And, of course, this is at the same time as well that Phil Spencer has sent out tweets that they're going, I'll be focusing more on what we're doing in Windows 10 in January. It's time for us to talk about gaming on Windows.
We might.
Well, they need to.
Yeah, we may end up losing Pete for a couple of minutes.
Apparently, they wanted to do this at E3, but they don't want to talk about Windows at a retail show because it's a console show. That explains an awful lot about their attitude.
Well, it's the fact that Windows isn't just about the games. It's Windows is.
Well, this is all part of...
It's an operating system.
This is all part of the company-wide restructure that happened back in March. And the Microsoft CEO has basically wrote that Phil Spencer reports to the head of the operating systems team, and that in his new job, he will help to bring more of the magic of Xbox to all form factors, including tablets, PCs, and phones.
Oh dear.
Of course, early leaks of Windows 10 have actually shown off that it has a Xbox integrated app. I'm not joking at that point.
It
doesn't surprise me.
Windows 10 for a minute then.
I think the whole point of skipping over a whole Windows version number was so that we could sort of avoid the awfulness of 8. Xboxifying Windows 10.
Just wait, they'll start calling it Windows X. Just to really cement the link. But that was that whole scheme. We'll call it Windows 10 to start with, but then we'll rebrand it to Windows X. Where's the betting shop? I want to put money on that.
Well, have they not learned from Games for Windows Live yet?
Nope. There's my answer.
Well, I think they've learned, but they're trying to find the best way of doing it.
And not learned.
But at least it turns out that, Flight Simulator is not dead after all.
No, it's being made by Dovetail Games, who are the guys responsible for Microsoft, for the old trains, well, for the modern train simulators.
Yeah. So, Flight Simulator 10 Gold Edition.
Yeah, and what's great is that the guys at Dovetail were the original guys at Kuju who made the original flight sim and train simulator. So they've got credentials in the field.
Indeed they do. And Flight Simulator has always been actually really good.
Yes, it has.
It's actually used by most people who are training to be real pilots.
And some of the custom hardware you can buy for it is...
Yeah, it is. If you actually get all the hardware and you're serious about doing it, there are actually people who sat there going, well, just how effective is this thing anyway? And they took this massive worldwide survey of people who'd actually trained to be commercial pilots, and it turned out the people that trained with Microsoft Flight Simulator, as well as their instructors, tended to pass a good 3 to 6 months quicker. And it is also famously used for evil by some people.
Yeah, allegedly. It was never confirmed.
Well, they say this about a lot of things. It's like, it's all evil, and it's like, prove it.
No, allegedly the plane hijackers.
9/11.
Yeah. They actually used Flight Simulator in order to get an understanding of how to at least aim a plane in a general direction.
Yeah, and apparently you can learn how to reload an M16 by playing Call of Duty.
No, this is different actually. Microsoft Flight Simulator is Yeah, like I said, people have actually used it to learn how to fly real planes. Because it actually is a very detailed simulator.
Oh yeah,
Unlike
it is a
Call of
very
Duty,
detailed
which is
simulator.
not actually a simulator of much. It's an iron sight simulator. Like most shooters are at the moment, actually. I miss hip firing.
I miss a great many things. Mostly the 80s. Back in the days when things were simpler. And you didn't have
We say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so post to the radio page.
That's just I say simpler, not necessarily better. Although games were
So, did you want to do the video things? Do you care?
video things.
You have things about movies, and then that sort of segs into the Sony thing afterwards, if you do them in an order.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. This is the news that Sony has managed to bag a deal, which will probably be cancelled very shortly after all these links. That Nintendo have signed an agreement for Sony to make a Super Mario Brothers movie.
A Super Brothers Mario.
Yeah, one of them. That's probably how it's not going to be quite as shit, because they've just changed the name. Therefore,
Wait, you mean with Mario?
Yeah, with Mario and Luigi Mario and stuff.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a new film on the way, developed by Sony Pictures, signed off by Nintendo, which is just crazy. So,
And that comes at the same time as well as, speaking of like simpler times, Sega are wanting to make films and TV shows that have a lot of their old franchises.
yeah, like Altered Beast and things like that.
I'm just sat there going, this is going to be as terrible as a lot of the Mortal Kombat TV series, isn't it?
I'm going to shun it unless the opening titles start with "Wise from your grave."
If it's the guy playing Elmer Fudd these days, we'll rope him in on this.
Exactly, be perfect. I wonder who's playing Elmer Fudd these days, actually.
I really
Now
can't be
that,
bothered.
now
Yeah.
that Mel Blanc is long gone.
I don't know.
To the Google machines. Yeah, but Pete, you say you've got some stuff on the Sony hack.
Well, the Sony hack is the big thing that everyone was talking about over the last week. And mostly this Sony Pictures, because there's been a shed ton of information that's come out in terms of emails between producers and a large number of other people referencing things like Adam Sandler and
TK.
other interesting...
TK.
Yes.
Mel Blanc wasn't the original Elmer Fudd.
Ooh.
It was Arthur Q. Bryan.
Well, there you go. So who's doing it now?
Hang on. Loading. Money begging.
Do you know the original prototype for Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd was a black guy.
Billy West.
Oh, really?
We really should have guessed that, shouldn't we?
We really should have, yes.
really, really should have. Apart from the Family Guy episode where it's Mel Blanc. Because they actually got the licensing to use Elmer Fudd for that one.
Yeah. God,
And
love
yeah,
that.
Mel Blanc was actually Elmer Fudd for like 3 episodes.
Blimey. I thought Mel Blanc was everyone in Warner Brothers, full stop. But yeah, the leaks that have come out, or the leak that happened, the hacking that resulted in the leaks with the emails and things. I heard one commentator on this actually give a very interesting point. Remember a little while ago when all the celebrity nudes went online?
Yeah.
And everyone was up in arms going, oh my god, people shouldn't be looking at this. This was taken from people's private accounts and it's a result of a hack and it's bad and we should never look at these. We should just ignore it completely. But when Sony get hacked, everyone is like, oh my god, I need to see everything right now. This is important. Holy shit, give it to me. Where's all the people going, oh no, we shouldn't be looking at this because it was the result of illegal hacking and yeah, that's bad. We shouldn't be looking. Those people are mysteriously quiet.
That's what I want to lead to, because they've released lots of information. Sylvester Stallone's details of who's been paid what, all of these emails bitching about Angelina Jolie
And Adam Sandler about how shit he is.
Yep.
Whereas
And,
personally, I'm just outraged that they refuse to give Marvel back Spider-Man for a fucking Avengers movie. Civil War.
that as well. That's
a travesty.
It's the fact that Sony their lawyer team has now gone out and gone, no, you can't show any of that because data protection.
It's true.
They have actually come out and gone, no, you can't actually use that information that's been hacked because we've not given you permission to use it.
Technically.
I'm fairly sure, having done data protection, the rules don't work like that.
No, the rules of data protection are that if you have received information that was not intended for you, you cannot use it. You shouldn't be seeing. You should delete the data immediately. Remove all trace of it from your machine. It's that simple. So all these people who've been downloading everything are technically well in breach of the Data Protection Act. And in theory, although I doubt any lawyer in the land would ever try touching it, there could be prosecutions for people downloading this data and then using it, especially in the media.
Although, try extraditing anybody from North Korea. Come on.
Well, North Korea has officially said it wasn't them, although they haven't said that they disapprove of it. And
Although, it's kind of like on, no, we're looking at this, it does actually look like these came from North Korea.
well, not. Let's
Let's just look at the tweets and their English for starters.
It wasn't necessarily North Korea as a political body that did it. It may have just been some people in North Korea. But it doesn't look like North Korea as an entity is responsible for this, which is
But we
what you
remember
thought.
Kim Jong sort of like, it wasn't us, but it was many allies everywhere who like us.
Praise be
Yeah.
to people who worship North Korea.
Yeah, but there's
mean the
there's
Greater
that.
People's
that
Republic
Sony
of
are
North
trying
Korea.
to use that as a way of getting
The glorious
people to stop talking about the Sony Pictures hacked information. But it has meant that it's looking increasingly likely that Sony Pictures are going to have to do a huge amount of backpedaling.
Well, Guardians of Peace said they're going to be giving out more at Christmas. But essentially, the
This
thing at the
could
moment has
only
been
get
they've been emailing various journalist outlets everywhere and send them links to websites where they just put up the information.
That right, actually.
Yeah, moving on from that, Sony and Evolution Studios are apparently embarrassed by the Drive Club launch.
And rightly so.
Yeah, so this was originally planned as a launch title. It arrived a year late and broken. So Evolution have been hard at work to get the racer back on track. It's been a disappointment, PlayStation UK boss Fergal Gara told IGN. When you lay your soul out as being for the players, then what you certainly don't want is games that are not fully ready. Like most of the launch titles. They're still working on server performance improvements to reach the capacity levels required to support the delayed releases of the PlayStation Plus version of the game and the companion app. But then we move on to the other, a bit more embarrassing thing, which is the PS4 20th Anniversary Edition consoles. How much have you guys heard about these?
A lot.
I remember the London event.
Yeah, let's talk about the London event. So
It was great. It was a secret, basically.
A pop-up stall thing.
Yeah, but no. The fun thing was you actually had to track the guys down,
Yep.
and then you had to say the secret password.
And you had to bring along some PlayStation memorabilia.
Yeah. Who wants to say the secret password?
I crashed my Bandicoot.
Yeah. And the
Giggity.
daft thing is, apparently, they were selling the 20th Anniversary Edition PS4s for £19.94 in London.
Yep. It was a super cheap thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was ridiculously cheap.
not
hence
as
why
cheap
it was
as that
worth
one
tracking
dude on eBay that
Yeah.
accidentally.
Sold it for $1. $1.
But
But the
Sony
pop-up shop
apparently-
appeared on Tuesday in Bethnal Green Road. It then posted an advert with the advertising for it. And that was 194 of the limited edition. Now, when we say limited edition, it's a strict run of 12,300 units worldwide, with
yeah.
us to get maybe 2,000 odd.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Sony are pretty pissed off at the eBay scalpers because they're saying that look, this is not in the spirit. We knew that prices would go up because of the limited availability. But come on, you guys are just being douche-tickles now.
Yeah. It's like, we know it was going to happen and we can't stop you, but seriously, guys, you're being pricks.
£5,000 I saw. £5,000 plus. Bidded.
Yep. People want it. People want it bad.
So, further from this, so this was news on Wednesday. A further 800 PS4 20th anniversary editions will be sold online in the UK next week. So that will be this Monday, so today, if you're not already aware of it.
So that's
Let's see. So this is a further 100 being sold across Thursday and Friday at the retail prices of $399. Let's see. 80% of the volume allocated to the UK will be sold online, meaning around 800 units will be available to buy next week. So we may even be having a smaller amount, because that's 994, and that's 80%. And that's the 80%.
UK's getting boned.
Yeah, we're maybe getting 1,000 units.
But then Europe's getting fuck all in total anyway.
Ooh.
But speaking of a bit of PlayStation news, this is a bit of good news for everybody who's on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or maybe even Steam or anything like that. There's been news over the last couple of days that the group of hackers known by the name Lizard Squad have been hacked themselves by
Yes.
by a group of hackers known as Finest Squad. And not only have Lizard Squad been hacked, their details have been obtained and sent to the FBI, and arrests have been made.
Oh, thank fuck.
After all that shit that this squad going, hey, FBI can't actually get us because what we're doing isn't illegal.
Yeah, the FBI have got them.
Yeah.
According to several posts via Twitter, Finest Squad hacked Lizard Squad, deleted its Twitter account, and leaked information of their locations, server, and website backends. This information was reportedly forwarded to the FBI and has reportedly already led to the arrests of the group. Another Lizard arrested on multiple counts of computer tampering and terrorist threats, said Finest Squad tweet.
Yeah, because this was the group who allegedly caused the flight to be grounded for... It wasn't Sony, it was...
Yes, it was the Sony CEO.
Oh, yes, it was Sony.
Yes. And who took down the PlayStation Network this week past.
The network, and
basically
apparently
they found a new
Microsoft.
great way to do things, and it's basically to try to force their own reach. Was that they're going, right, yeah, we have now taken down Sony. If you don't believe it, then retweet us 200 times and we'll bring it back up. And move on to Steam. This is all a nice big run-up for our nice hostage-taking of all of the services on Christmas.
Well,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas from Finest Squad, is what they're saying.
Yeah, this still could be ongoing, because there's still other alleged squads under the same banner who are supposedly planning DDoS attacks on various things, including SEAL Team 6 for killing the notorious terrorist Osama bin Laden. And they're also taking on hacks such as the First Lady's Michelle Obama's lady parts.
Okay.
I'm fairly confident it's a big pile of poo. But I've got to say I'm glad for that, because even if they weren't actually doing the hacks, they were obnoxious.
I missed out on something earlier I was meant to bring up. Oh, we're talking about Xbox and their PlayStation sales.
Yeah.
Xbox and
I was gonna bring
PlayStation
up
sales.
the relative prices of the relative worth of doing the Xbox Gold / PlayStation Plus.
Oh, yeah.
This year, if you have Xbox Gold, you got given approximately $300 worth of games
Oh, wow.
this year.
That's a huge amount.
If you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you got given approximately $1,300 worth of games.
That's more like it.
Of course, this may be why they managed to pull more money ahead this last month.
It's like, this is the reason to have PlayStation Plus, because you get a shit ton of games, especially when you've got access to a PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. And
Hello.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
Is
have
that number
23.
just PS3, or is that all of it?
Most of them.
yeah, that'll be all of it, but that doesn't matter, because you can still download all those titles, even if you don't own the consoles,
Indeed.
which I do. I do make sure that I've got them all in my shopping basket and all checked out, so as long as I keep my subscription running, which I see no
Although
reason not
I have to do that on a PC or at
Likewise.
each console individually, because you can't do it through a mobile interface.
No, I do it on the PC, because that's the only way I can get the PS4 ones.
Well, if you try to do it through a mobile interface, the Sony store will go, right, do you want to buy this? Yes, I do. Please put in your password. Okay. Now, your security card, on your credit card thing. Okay. Now put in your password. Okay. Yeah, give us your 3-digit security code. Oh, God. I'm in a David Lynch film, aren't I?
Endless looping.
Any news to wrap up then?
Yeah, I can do a couple of quick bits. Apparently, No Man's Sky. You will never find your friends even though you're playing with them.
Wonderful.
Yeah, apparently all the players share the same universe. But you all start at random points on the edge.
Oh, wow.
Which means even if you know where a friend is, it's very unlikely that you'll ever actually get to see them. Hello Games, Sean Murray said, people keep asking us about multiplayer, and I think when people see this, they're going to fully realise what it means to be that far away from somebody else who's playing.
That is actually going to be awesome, because it means that
Well, it's
the
kind
experience I'm having is not the same as the experience a friend who's playing the game is having.
It's kind of, because what's the point in actually having the online mode when it's just like going, yeah, you're never going to actually find any people that you're playing with, ever.
Oh, wait, they've not said that. They've said you're not going to find your friends. So if you've constantly gamed with 4 or 5 people, this is a game that potentially you could end up finding 10 or 20 different people who you've never met.
No,
who
you
will
won't actually be able
experience
to
the
find
same
any of
stuff.
them, is what they're saying. It's like, he's actually said, people keep saying to us, yeah, if I knew where my friends were, could I go there? And he said, well, it's like, yeah, but they're going to stay there for quite a while you get over there. Then once you get there, you might land on the same planet, and then you go, all right, I'm on a planet the size of Earth, and I'm on a mountain. Where are you?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you still have the opportunity of running into other people in the universe. And you will.
They're saying that you're not going to run into them.
No, they're saying they're not going to
No,
run
they're
into
saying
your
they're not going to
friends.
run into your friends.
No, anybody. You're not going to run into anybody.
Well, that's not what you said a minute ago. You said your friends.
Well, this is mostly a case of when you've got this sort of game, you want to buddy up with your friends. And sort of do some fun shit together, Minecraft style. But it's a case of no, you're not going to be able to bump. The odds of you bumping into anyone is astronomical.
I doubt it's going to be that case.
This is actually what they're saying. Straight up.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be you're not going to bump into anyone. I imagine you're going to run into people. It's just you're not likely to run into Bob who plays the same game down the road.
Probably for the best.
So that's it for the gaming news.
Pretty much. Oh,
So we need
the
to-
Steam sale has started,
Oh, shit, has
but
it?
it's not really a sale.
Oh, good.
It's
Oh,
an
it's the
auction.
thing we were
Oh, the
looking at,
auction
TK.
thing, yeah.
This is the thing that I'm just sat there going, no.
No.
Essentially, remember those cards we all keep getting?
Nope. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Basically, you break down one of those cards to get gems. You use those gems to bid on a massive list of games.
Yep.
But as far as I can see, there actually aren't any dedicated sales going on. It's entirely this auction thing.
Yep. At the
So
moment.
this thing are going to
Yeah,
drive
but-
up the prices of cards, and pretty much the only people that are going to be guessing all of the good games are the ones that are going to dump a load of real money into this. So they can get all of the cards and all of the gems. No, really, what was that?
It depends.
Alex, what was that high bidding thing on one of those games? Last night, was it 3.8 million gems?
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Yeah, that was the most recent one
He's
that's
actually fully
finished.
asleep now.
And that wasn't a game, that was the holiday profile.
Oh yeah, that's the holiday profile. I was just like going.
I've got a marker pen. Do you want to draw on him?
But the thing is, they had a sale on at the beginning of the month, and people were sat there going, it's not gamified. We don't really give a shit. And now they've done a weird gamifying sort of thing, but it's the kind of thing where you start going, this is not cool.
Well,
It's not.
There's
I want
been
my
a
sale.
couple
This
of
doesn't
issues.
make me excited for the games at all. It's just me sat there going, this is unnecessary extra shit in between me and getting hold of some games.
I want cheap stuff. I don't want to have to bid, because as soon as you start making it a bidding thing, then you lose all aspect of it being cheap, because someone will just outbid you.
And it's also something that, again, unless you're actually pumping your real money into it, you're not going to have enough gems to actually outbid people for the limited numbers of the good games that are there.
Yeah. Especially
Well,
as a card will give you something like 13 gems.
Yeah, and again, this is going to get to the point where, it's like the whole booster thing. You can get extra cards through boosters, sure, but it's completely random when those boosters will drop and if you will ever get them.
And you only get
Well,
up to 3 a game anyway.
hang on, guys. Before you continue on with the conjecture where a lot of you probably haven't dealt with the cards, a lot of the people have been picking up on the cards from the start of this and have actually been completing the badges, which gave them the motes and everything else, which then had nothing. They've basically had them in the inventory for like ages now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think my library has 100 games in it, there are some people in there who've got lots more games with the ability to earn badges and will have been earning badges through their life cycles, especially with games like Team Fortress 2 or any of the you pay money because they'll always generate cards.
So you essentially what you're saying is, no, you guys are wrong about having to spend money to get shit. You have to spend money to get shit.
You're still spending money to get the games, but there's the free cards that people are getting, trading, and some are buying.
Once more, the more money
but it's
you've
the
already
stuff that
pumped
comes out of the
in,
badges.
the more money you've already pumped in, the more shit you're going to get anyway.
But it's the stuff that comes out of a lot of the badges that generates the most gems.
Yeah, again, and this is going to be the point where most people sit there going, I might as well just buy cards off the marketplace.
That's
Thing is, I can't
an
get my
option,
boosters
but there's a lot of people who've already done that, and they've got stuff in their inventory across tens of pages. Are you understanding now?
Yes, we understand. You're not very well.
Which makes it completely pointless for anyone else to try and get anything, because
Exactly.
they haven't got the
Which brings us round to the initial points. Only the people that have already spent money through one way or another are actually going to be getting anything from this event.
Especially when the bidding can go on to thousands of gems.
Yeah.
So great.
Well, they are
great
now
if
in
you are.
thousands of
Yeah,
gems.
great if you've got thousands of things to flog off for gems. But if you're a normal person, you ain't getting shit out of this deal.
Well, it's great because, you know, like Pete was saying, if you don't buy cards in the marketplace, you could have a massive library of games that you've already got, which means that, yeah, this is just the people who've already got too much money to burn.
Maybe not, but there's a lot of people who do engage in the card scene who've been getting a lot of stuff out the back of it for the badges and that. It's a way of getting rid of all that stuff in the inventory that you don't use.
Yeah, but this would be
And then you
better.
have the ability to use it either in getting the games that you bid for in an amusing little auction,
but
or
saying the
you can
opportunity
actually
to
get
get
your
rid of this
card
stuff is
packs
good,
to help
Pete.
flesh out the rest of your
Pete.
stuff.
Hush. The opportunity to get rid of this stuff is good if it wasn't actually the sole event. If this was an extra thing on top of the Steam sales,
Yeah.
a lot more people would be happy with this shit. But unfortunately,
Well,
this is
the
the
thing.
only
This isn't a
thing that's
sale.
going on. Yeah, this is the Christmas event. There is no Steam sale going on at the moment.
Yeah, this is
It's
just an
unlikely
auction.
there's a Steam sale going on soon because they haven't been talking about it. This is the only event. Which
I
means
don't
only
believe
those-
that because this finishes December 18th.
It finishes on Thursday.
Yeah, so I don't believe that this is the only event.
In other words, there had better be a Steam sale on the 19th, or else there's going to be trouble.
Pretty much.
Well, there's guaranteed to be, because this is how they then generate. Because this is all of the games that you're looking at that you're bidding for are stuff that have been donated by developers and publishers.
Mm-hmm.
So this literally is. Was it free PR for these companies? There's nothing where they're getting money.
Free PR
Out.
and some rather sneaky, pushing of the trading card markets.
But again, it depends entirely on how you engage with it. I mean, for me, I've upgraded a couple of my badges to complete through this. So to me, it's I've gotten exactly what I was looking to get out of this, whilst also getting rid of a bunch of stuff out of my inventory. So,
But then again, Steam badges are so full of value and worth.
I know, right?
I like them. They're nice little collectible things that you can stick on your profile.
I will tell the truth here. Now I'll actually say, there are a few of the badges that I've actually created for a couple of games that I liked the artwork for. Mm-hmm. Usually by selling off some of the other cards I don't want in the marketplace and using the money in my Steam wallet to quickly purchase the few cards missing from a collection.
Yeah.
Because, again, fuck waiting for a booster card pack to drop, because it probably never will.
Indeed.
You need to be quite high level.
Yeah, so this is another spend money to get shit thing.
Well, of course.
Well, you spend money anyway. That's the thing.
Well, the thing is that, it's because if you want your Borderlands 2 background profile stuff, you're either going to need to buy or trade the extra cards because it's 500 hours in-game and not a single booster pack drop.
Well, most games only give you 3 anyway.
Well, most games give you half of the cards that you need to actually craft a badge, and then they'll say 3 random extra card drops. But
well, again, to reiterate, the card drops are
Arbitrary?
granted randomly to eligible users as more badges are crafted by members of the community, so long as you're logging in each week. Your drop rate increases by 20% each time from level 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, etc.
Yeah,
so
there's a certain point where increasing your Steam level is a grind in and of itself. Unless you're spending a fuck ton of money on the games.
Yeah.
Or on the cards market itself.
Not well.
To be honest, you're going to spend money in the sales, so it's a nice extra thing, and if you get the cards off the back of it, you get your levels up as well.
But, shall we move on?
Yes.
Yes, let's.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
It's a new segment, and Fetus didn't talk over the jingle.
What's wrong with you?
I was
Well,
telepathically
let's start.
communing
Does
with
anyone
the
have anything for Done and Dusted?
No, I already raised Attack and Tag 2, so, what have I done this week? I'm fairly sure I've seen something that I haven't seen before this week, but I can't remember what the fuck it was.
I got a new toy.
Oh, really?
It's a whole bunch
Really?
of buttons.
That was very quiet in the background there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of muffled.
It wasn't the bestest of qualities. What
It wasn't. Some of these seem to be really weirdly sampled.
What I think you were going for was...
What a better version than me!
Yeah.
But I had a slightly more dramatic version to go with. Yeah.
Whereas I've got...
Radio killed the video star.
How can this be?
Which radio? TigerTails Radio.
That's perfect.
Internet radio has never been so fuzzy.
You woke the Alex!
I make no apologies.
I'm guessing we don't actually have anything for Done and Dusted.
Wait. You mean Alex is awake?
Do you want to play with the buttons, Alex? You just hold it up to the microphone, just press the button. You know you want to.
Right, so I'm going with the fact that we don't actually have anything for Done and Dusted.
Anyway.
I've been busy.
So, have we got anything for Done and Dusted? Guess not then.
I would also gone with Sad Trombone.
Oh dear.
Alex has just woken up on the live stream.
I think it was nicely timed as well.
It's not the end of the show yet.
Nicely timed.
We got another 40 minutes of this, or 35.
Quick, somebody think of something for Done and Dusted. No pressure. No
Alex,
pressure.
review that muffin! Review the damn muffin!
Don't want
Oh.
Quick, Felis. Eat the muffin.
I can't eat the muffin!
Why not?
It's nowhere to no. It's been in your crotch, I no longer want it.
Quick, you're running out of time. Review something.
That was a rather nice interlude, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend it to all listeners on the archive.
So, no one's seen any TV because it's basically mid-season break for everything.
Well, and it's also, the week that the torrents died.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
So I'm not caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not caught up on Constantine. I may
Have you
have to
seen
watch
The Flash?
The Flash because Mark Hamill will be appearing in it very soon
Okay.
as the
When you
trickster.
say very soon,
Has it
it's
already
now
gone
on the
by?
mid-season break.
Yeah.
So he will be appearing after mid-season break. So Mark Hamill will be appearing in Not Gotham against Not Batman as Not Joker.
Okay. Nice.
All of these for legal reasons, even though it's owned by the same parent company.
Yeah. The only thing I've really done this week that I can think of that was kind of different from the norm, apart from watching various fighting game events, is thanks to the Humble Bundle, I picked up a copy of Sonic Generations for the PC, which enabled me to install mods, as in the Unleashed project, which is the fans of Sonic Unleashed going, that Werehog stages were shit, and the RPG elements were shit.
Yeah,
So
I think like I said in the review quite a while back, the daytime stages are fucking amazing.
Yes, they are.
But they last for like 2.5 minutes and then you're stuck as a werehog for an hour.
Yeah, so what people have done is they've taken Sonic Generations, stripped out its levels, and replaced them with the levels from Sonic Unleashed. Much better idea.
Whereupon he played the same level over and over,
I played it a couple of times because I was trying to get the controls to work properly.
and he died.
Sonic Generations Unleashed project does not like
and
my
over.
joypad. However, Sonic Generations itself didn't mind. Once I was back into the main game, it seemed to work quite fine with the joypad, but the Unleashed project really fucking hated it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's brilliant because I was watching him play Generations and it was like he was able to navigate quite easily. Admittedly, he preferred the 2D to the 3D.
Oh, yeah.
But then out came the Unleashed and it was suddenly a case of, and veer left. Veer left. And I'm like, TK, just push the bumper. It's like, I still veer left.
But to be fair, TK doesn't deal as well when it comes to a full 3D environment for his games.
That's only 3D sickness, and Sonic Generations and Unleashed doesn't really trigger it for some reason.
No, he didn't rush to the bathroom, unlike Call of Duty, where it's a case of, what are you playing Call of Duty? 10 minutes later, I'll be back in a while.
But yeah, he'll fare better if it's a third-person game.
Oh no, because Sonic Sonic Adventure was the first game to prevent me actually physically vomit. And that wasn't during the action stages, that was during the wandering around town RPG bits in the middle.
So...
that poor random NPC person's home.
Yeah, that fucked me right up. I have no idea. That was the first game I've ever physically been ill after playing. And I no idea what it is about that section, because it's not exactly fast-paced and crazy. It's just bad camera angles wandering around town. But something about it just triggers my 3D sickness Sonic chronic.
Well, one thing we can actually talk about whilst Alex falls asleep again is Capcom Cup and the Street Fighter 5 stuff. Because we've not actually talked about
Whilst
that.
y'all do that, I'm going to make a drink.
Oh,
Would
yes,
you like a
please.
cup of tea, Alex?
Alex
It'll be
will need
hot and
coffee
soothing.
intravenously dripped.
It will not be milky, but it will have sugar. You don't want sugar. Okay.
Honey.
Hang on. Let's test if Alex is awake.
6 chambers, 1 bullet. It's time to play Russian roulette.
Is he awake yet?
It was actually the really, really loud jingle that woke him up in the first place. It was awesome. I mean, I'm so sorry that happened to you, Alex.
So the Capcom tournament, this year's 2014
Sorry, I pressed the
tournament.
button.
TK's giving me the look in his eyes that says my vengeance will be terrible and swift. But first, I want some sleep.
So this was in some theatre somewhere in America.
Next to a strip club.
Of course, it was in Vegas. wasn't
Because it's America, this was
Yeah.
theatre with the ER.
it? Yeah, because they can't spell.
Idiots.
And we tuned in after we realised it was on.
And we were missing most of it.
Yeah, so we managed to, after debating what PMT and GMT actually meant, we caught the second half.
We'd got most of, well, we'll say most of, we got the latter half of the top 16, definitely.
Oh, you missed the mid-game show. Oh.
What was the mid-game show?
Footage of a DJ on an iPad bouncing up and down
Oh, holy shit. Oh,
for half an hour.
damn it. How could I live for myself for missing that? Oh, I wish I'd never found out now. Damn.
Didn't they have like the megas there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Playing really badly.
Yep. Everyone got really upset with it. They were like, just show anything but this guy who was just bopping up and down to his own iPad.
But I like that he was one of the first people to actually take to heart the message of that T-shirt that said "Dance like nobody's watching."
Unfortunately, everyone was. So we caught the second half. I saw a match or two of the... Was it be pools? I'm not entirely sure, because it's a weird
It's double
winners
elimination.
losers bracket for the top 16.
Yeah, it's double elimination.
That's normal.
Which feels weird to me, because I know it gives everyone an opportunity to play at least 2 games. It's just when you get to that final match when suddenly everything is bizarre.
What do you mean everything is bizarre? Yeah,
Well, it's the he's got to win. He's got to reset the bracket, and then he's got to win again.
Yeah, because essentially, if you're coming from losers, the whole point is that you're at a disadvantage, and if you beat somebody while in losers, if you're in the last match, so you have the winner and the loser, right? You beat them, they then themselves lose, but because they're the only one left in the double elimination bracket, they fight you again. That's how it works. But
Yeah.
we just say reset the bracket because it's simple.
So
Simpler to just say. you just set the
Basically,
bracket.
what you've done, if you've come from the losers bracket, you then fight against the victor of the winners bracket in the grand final.
Yep.
You then basically send the winner to losers, so you're now having a double losers grand final.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it works. But we, just like I said, just say reset the bracket because it's just, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
There's a reason why I brought that up, because that becomes relevant as we get nearer to the end. But we caught up when Ryan Hart,
Reinhardt, yeah.
right? Ryan Hart, he was still playing to stay in. Balrog was still playing to
PR
stay in.
Balrog,
Literally, the guy was PR Balrog,
Yeah.
which is great because TK's like going, "This guy actually makes Balrog look good." I went, "No one can make Balrog look good." Then we watched him play, and I went, "Okay, I'll give you that one."
Yeah. He is a good barrel player. Although, to
And-
start with, when we were watching, it didn't look like it, did he? He was getting absolutely hammered.
He looked like he was shitting cast iron spiky bricks.
Yeah, when he was up in the final 4, wasn't it? No,
Yeah.
because it was the American, wasn't he? So he got lower than the Brit.
Yeah, he looked like he was on severe detox. It was scary.
He was sweating, and he did not look.
But then he
wanted to
wasn't.
be there.
He wasn't the only one, because several of the more Asian people who were Asian, aside from those that were French,
Yep.
some of them were looking really shaky. And it literally is like a stage with the chairs and some dick with a camera who goes right up to your face to take a photo.
Yep. Hey, look at my DSLR in your face.
And
what
it was
was
what there was a few Europeans in the top 16, but they all got knocked out. There was like very few Japanese people left.
No, that was
Mostly
There were 4 Europeans, 1 Jap or 2 Japs, an American. I think there was a Brazilian and someone from Singapore, though, and a couple of other Asians, and someone from South Korea, which was cool. That must be a list.
Yeah.
There must be a wiki somewhere on Capcom Cup.
I would hope so.
I'm gonna wiki. You talk, I'll wiki.
The brackets should be up on challenge.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, you're not talking.
huge. I know. Sorry, there was a huge bunch of names that were spouted out that I didn't recognise at all. And as soon as they came out, TK was like, "Oh him, and it was like, "Who?" It's like Balrog. I never heard of this guy.
Wait, you've never heard of PR Balrog?
No, I've never heard of PR Balrog.
Like, really well known. Not just like...
Has Pete ever watched
Yeah.
Evo though?
No,
he also
not
plays
really.
Marvel. Well, he doesn't really so much anymore, but he used to be a well-known Marvel player as well.
But then this has been like an age since the last time I watched any of the fighter streams, because I think it was the last time I was living with you guys when I saw a fighting stream, which shows how long that was. But it managed to get down to top 3, and you had Invictus, I can't remember his name now. Seth?
Infiltration.
Yeah.
Infiltration, that's the one, sorry. Yeah, Infiltration.
Why are they listing Reinhardt as DJ Protocol Son?
Because that's his actual name. Like his actual
Yeah.
entry name.
Okay.
Prodigal Son. It was on his t-shirt.
Well, yeah, but why are they calling him Reinhardt then?
Oh, because it's like he's just known. He's a known
Yeah.
player. He's a very old, like OG player.
Okay.
Which explains some of his playing
Sure,
style. You had Momochi, and who was the...
There was Momochi, Chan, Luffy, Infiltration, Pale Bullrog, Prodigal Son, Railmaster. There.
I think it was Luffy.
Luffy was the French one, I think.
Luffy, yeah.
Luffy, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rose player.
The guy who was playing Rose, one of the characters that I've never gotten on with,
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
could
Luffy.
never understand why anyone would to play that bloody character.
That was Luffy, yeah.
Mm.
Chan was playing Gen, Poison, and Dalsim, and Momochi was playing Ken.
So,
Yeah.
Rose was M. Bison's expelled feminine side, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Depends, is it 2, 3, Alpha, EX?
Rose wasn't in 2, so... Yeah, that's denied that relevance.
But it was quite amusing because they were talking about how this year there was more players playing multiple different characters, and we saw this through a couple of the guys who were like playing some weird selections. You had Gen and Poison made an appearance. The various incarnations of Ryu.
Yep, well, we
Jesus. Yep, the occasional Akuma. I managed to catch some of the earlier stuff, and you had like Elena being played, Dalsim being played, a huge variety, and it was coming down to Infiltration and Momochi, who just played some really aggressive Ken. But so old school, I was like going, yes, all the way through this.
No,
and
you
he was
weren't.
playing up against...
All you were doing throughout that entire bloody thing was going, why aren't you jumping in and doing the dragon punch? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing that? You should have done that. Why didn't you do that? The entire fucking thing.
I'm just wondering.
It was
It was like you were on a loop.
And then because of the useful esports comments, he realized the error of his ways.
No, he didn't. Oh my god.
I understand the offside rule now.
They really weren't that brilliant esports commentators.
A lot
Oh,
of them really aren't.
James
Although the one on the
James
left
Chen,
is cute.
nah, but Dave, Ultra David, yeah, he's actually a pretty good commentator.
Which one was
He
Michael
actually-
McIntyre?
Who?
One of the left, the more Asian looking one, like Michael McIntyre.
James Chen.
Yes.
They're again very well known.
Mark McIntyre does look kind of Asian, doesn't he?
He does.
My brain is
But-
only just noticing this. You know. To the Netflix.
Dear God, it was great watching this because it's been like an age since I've played any Street Fighter, and the only reason we realised this is because I was flicking through the news and it came up saying Street Fighter 5 match going to be played as part of this,
Hells yeah.
and I didn't think that was going to be the case because they announced the winner. Momochi won because he severely kicked ass after resetting the bracket and then completely creaming poor old thingy.
He went through about 7 players in a row to win in the end. It was crazy. He was on a roll.
Completely, it was like suddenly perfect. It was like that's not a good sign,
He's pissed. He's out for blood.
and it's going to get worse when 5 comes around. But they showed a different trailer aside from the leaked one, which showed more of the actual gameplay
Well,
with
that trailer's been out for a while, but this trailer was special because it had an extra bit at the end.
yeah, because it was Chun-Li and Ryu. I only thought there was going to be the trailer which had the people and the other footage of stuff.
Is he talking about a returning character?
He might be.
A really annoying returning character.
Not Pete's favourite. Fans went up
One-
in arms with hooray, but Pete was like, fuck no.
One who apparently died without confirmation he died, and was the sole reason that one of my favourite old school characters ended up with the worst charge set ever.
Pete's not happy.
So, shouldn't you be happy that he is back?
No, because it's Charlie.
Yes.
No, I am not happy he's back.
Why not?
I don't like Charlie.
Oh.
It literally was. Oh, here's a carbon copy of Guile, but we'll fuck up his moveset and then make that Guile's moveset when Guile comes back. No!
No. It's a carbon copy of Guile who's attempting to cosplay as Wesker.
Yeah.
Only now he's got a crystal in his forehead.
Because reasons.
Also raisins.
I like raisins.
And also, bizarre Japanese guy who created the game cosplayed and came on stage as him.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but Honor is just a huge troll. I've seen some funny pictures where he's basically...
It was bad.
He's quoted, like, obviously not real quotes, but it's like, I did it, I killed Evo. Stuff like that. No, he is actually just legit crazy.
There you go. We could tell.
What made me laugh throughout the entire thing was that Luffy was apparently the winner of Evo 2014.
Yep.
He looked so overconfident, and he looked so pissed when he came third.
He got royally trashed.
He looked so pissed. I was there stifling a snigger going, yeah.
But Cosplay Asian came on and announced that they were going to do the premiere of the Street Fighter V game
The live
by
demo.
playing live tournament demo matchup.
Wasn't like a 60-second video.
Nope. It was a live, two people playing live on the stage, playing a demo, the Alpha Build, of Street Fighter V.
Yep.
Fuck yeah!
It so is an alpha build, but it is following on from
I just
3.
know that regardless of how long it actually was, it's going to be subjected to increasingly longer dissection videos over the next few
Oh, gotcha,
months.
already.
Oh yeah.
Isn't there already a half-hour one?
Probably.
In stereo.
But there's so much stuff in there that because they had the bare bones UI with Revenge, which was very odd. The EX that didn't seem to do what we've seen the EX do.
EX seems to add elements to your attacks. So
Yeah.
you had the lightning and Chun-Li had water.
Yeah.
And it was noticeable that it gave Chun-Li double fireballs, and it gave Ryu the ability to repel Chun-Li's fireballs and bounce them back at her
So,
with his fireballs.
is this like a different move set thing?
Similar
Is it
moveset. Similar.
So yes, it's like the old the Guilty Gear X-type characters where they had a changed moveset. It's like different mechanics to play in them.
It looks like it. There's apparently other
themes,
stuff because
but-
people were talking about Guard Crush, and we've seen the apparent knockout mechanic that's led to Chun-Li having pasta on her head
That was hilarious.
throughout the entirety of the third match.
Well, what kind of pasta?
Ramen.
A bowl of pasta.
Literally a bowl of
Noodles.
pasta.
Yes.
A bowl of pasta noodles, yeah.
Is this what Japanese Devo fans wear?
Well, basically, at the end of round 2, Chun-Li was knocked into a kind of a bar's kitchen area, and the bowl of ramen noodles fell on her head,
Like upside down?
upside down.
Okay, just checking, because
Yeah.
And
She then fought the entirety of the
costume
third round
choices
with
can
it on her
sometimes be
head.
crazy.
Yeah, and then she fought the entire third round with that attached to her head as a hat, which was hilarious. Completely unnecessary, but hilarious.
But it looked really lovely. I mean, it actually brought the verticality back in.
I'm just saying,
With the
what's going to
fact-
happen for E Honda's level? Do you actually get to, slip on the tiles and crack a skull open and die?
No, this isn't
We
Mortal
don't
Kombat.
know.
If Street Fighter
But,
don't allow that, then we're going to be campaigning for the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat crossover, because that's the one thing that's stopping it at the moment. The fact that the Mortal Kombat characters won't be able to fatality the Street Fighter characters, because Capcom will say, no, not our precious franchise characters.
Oh, come on. It's a non-canon crossover. Let it happen.
Yeah, they don't get it.
You remember what happens if you don't allow this shit?
Yeah, you end up with
Gets
MP
made in
versus-
Mugen.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get up with heroic knockouts.
Yeah, heroic brutality.
And a game of playing as the Joker is only fun for like one match.
And then the Joker's fatality gets censored in North America. And Europe gets to have the whole thing.
Yeah, again, America's been weird about a lot of censorship things. I mean, you remember Breath of Fire 4?
No.
Did anybody here play it?
Nope, didn't play 1, 2,
Now,
3
basically,
either.
there is a beheading scene,
Ah,
and
Yeah.
they censored it.
I can see why. America's quite
They
true.
I can see
No.
why, yeah.
No. It was in silhouette. Much like in that one, I think it is that one Street Fighter game where you had an Akuma death scene where it's entirely in silhouette.
I can see why they would not have the beheading scene even in silhouette.
I mean, they cut the beheading out of Video Game High School, so... Yeah.
Oh yeah, I finally watched the last episode.
Oh, well done.
Fuck yeah, Calhoun's Rampage of Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yes! Yes! It got cut short so soon.
It did. But worth it.
I also like how it wasn't Brian. Yeah, we can talk about that! Woo!
Go on then, 'cause I'm looking forward to 5, but we've effectively run through everything we can talk about Street Fighter 5, so...
Well, I was going to say one more thing.
VGHS.
I was going to say one more thing about the Mortal Kombat DC thing, and now I've come to mention it, I've completely fucking forgotten what I was talking about. We're talking about fatalities, Joker's fatality... Oh yeah, I was going to say, the Joker's fatality in Mortal Kombat vs DC was the Joker pulls a gun out, shoots, and it's a fake gun, bang, haha, very funny.
And then he pulls the trigger the second time, and
then he quickly pulls out a real gun and shoots him in the head. And America got that censored, which made me laugh. Because when you think about it, places like Europe, Australia, whatever, Japan, etc., all the places where we have gun control laws, we're more than happy to show that in full. But at North America, where gun control is just, are you able to sign your name on a piece of paper, wouldn't allow it to be shown.
Yeah, it was about doing that in some places.
Yeah, I know. And it was like, we can't show that. It's too graphic or something. Yeah. Guns don't kill people, right? NRA? So that made me laugh. I can't for the life of me figure out why that was deemed too extreme to show.
It's amazing that most people that pull out the Second Amendment thing are the ones most against being well regulated.
Yeah. What does that say? But anyway, yes, go on with the Video Game High School.
Video Game High School. Blarg. So this is the feature-length finale to the Season 3.
It was quite long, wasn't it?
In which it turns out the events of the last couple of seasons have all been engineered by the Barnstormer brothers.
Spoilers.
As part of an epic... Yeah, spoiler alert. Yada, yada, yada. As part of an epic plot, get revenge on Calhoun and Video Game High School for not accepting their application.
What?
Because they were too young at the time.
What?
Then they wanted to try and buy Video Game High School, and Mummy said, only if you make...
Only if your energy drink stocks get high enough.
Yeah.
So they engineered the whole fall of the law and the stuff, because he was promoting certain things and not napalm energy. And then they bought the law after, he redeemed himself, and then basically got him to sign away his brand, gave it to a young Asian guy, kicked out the law, proceeded to take over the school through the presidency and everything else. Then they got to buy the school with their, napalm energy stocks. And this leads to the school being closed down to make way for the Napalm Mega Mall.
Okay. It was a bad time.
It was a very bad time.
Not to mention...
So many cliches were pulled out.
On a side plot, Little Wong's character's dad died.
In the previous episode. The episode before the previous one. We had a
Wong.
whole episode dedicated to dealing with Ted
issues.
Wong's death.
Yeah.
Who plays his father? Who plays the father? So no, it's Freddie Wong's death. Who's the father of Ted, but is played by his brother.
That's his brother?
Yes.
Holy shit, Asians.
They're related. Yeah, they're brothers.
Crap, dude. Did his parents go, okay, well, it's been a while, shall we breed again?
It's like that, or one of them has now hit that mysterious, point in their life where all of the missing years catch up with them overnight.
Or vice versa, where they've just started regressing.
I don't know, I've never seen that point in a stage in an Asian life cycle.
Jackie Chan.
I don't know.
Because he's looking quite old now. I think he's...
Yeah.
Maybe he yo-yoed, because there was a time when he was looking quite young after being
Whereas
quite old.
Keanu Reeves is going to look like the way he does, ever since he was
Anyway,
in the 1600s.
malls.
And I
School,
can't wait for Bill and Ted 3.
So, there is literally no hope of doing anything until they actually manage to figure out a way that maybe if we, if we appeal to their egotism and say, how about if we beat you in one final death match?
Why not? Just roll time.
We'll get the school back. They're like, fine, but not like you're going to be able to find 32 players on such short notice. By the way, we just bought the 32 best players in the world.
And it wasn't even to get the school back, it was just basically for,
Yeah, as one last hurrah.
Yeah, one last glory
well.
thing.
But it turns out that, Calhoun comes in because technically he never graduated. He's still a student. They get the law back after I'm not sure if he actually did murder the guy or not. I think he did.
It looks like he did, yeah.
I'm not sure if that guy was his manager or a customer.
I think it was a customer because he wanted to return a game.
Yeah, but then he's saying, about all these things I can offer you if you don't kill me. Better wage. And wait, was it his boss? Or I don't know. And then they train all of the other gamers to play.
Gamers.
To play, was it Field of Duty?
Field of Fire.
Field of Fire, yeah, to their abilities. So the drifters are on vehicles. The fighting game people are on Call of Duty stabby knives.
Yep.
Which are made of one-hit kill.
Hand-to-hand combat stabby.
All this stuff. And Key, Key Swan, is the omnidisciplinary gamer.
She's the one overlooking everything and telling everyone where they need to go.
And is also excellent at any type of game she applies herself to. But they've kind of already established this beforehand all the way through the other seasons.
Yeah.
Because slow burning Mary Sue.
Well, not so much actually, because they don't actually pull her out as anything extra special. She just happens to do things.
That's why I say slow burning. Because, yeah, she's going to be awesome at everything. It's just going to take her a little while. But she will be awesome at everything. She'll be just the perfect at anything she puts her mind to. It just takes her a little while. She wanted to be the perfect leader. Eventually she became the perfect leader. She wants to be great at XYZ game. Eventually she becomes great at XYZ
No,
game.
they actually showed her failing at, doing quite a few of the things.
As all Mary Sues do eventually. They have their little moments so you can see, oh, look, they're all
No. If it's a Mary Sue, it's usually a moment which doesn't actually detract from the character. It's like, oh, look, I have a foible, but it's only like I'm bipolar or something.
Yeah, I've got this tiny flaw.
But in this case, we did have the whole she fucked up our entire thing for class presidency.
Yeah, that was her failure moment, but then that was her failing at leadership, which she then overcame by the end. And was amazing at leadership. So, I'm not really seeing how that could be, yeah.
So there's the big kick-ass fight at the
Yeah, there's the big gun showdown.
Fully
end.
Nearly 2/3 of this entire episode are the deathmatch.
No, it's not. It's kind of the last kind of quarter.
Really? Because it seemed to go on for quite a long time.
It seemed like it didn't actually go on all that long.
In a good way.
Most of it was the build-up.
Yeah. Oh, there's the whole training sequence as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it actually was a nice chunk of it was actually the final fight thing.
Yeah, they didn't gloss over it very quickly.
In which Brian does not actually miraculously pull it out.
And yeah, it doesn't magically save the day.
He was more the Mary Sue character than Key was, I'd say. Yeah, we actually had Jenny being the awesome player. Brian being competent.
For once.
The law now sort of taken down to a not even lethal joke character.
Yeah, he's not even a menace anymore.
He's, yeah. He has fallen quite a way. Because beforehand he was like, I'm an asshole, I'm egotistical, but I'm also actually really am good at the shit I do.
Yeah, I've got the skills to back it up.
He is first-person shooter archer.
Now he is just thrush. He's a mild inconvenience. He's an itch you just want to scratch.
Although it is fun.
Oh, it's most definitely fun.
Bear in mind that the actor who plays him wrote him this way. So, yay.
So do they win? That's the question.
They actually do win.
Yeah.
And then the Barnstormers go, haha, yeah, no, we're keeping the score. Because they actually did make a wager on getting the school back. More or less.
No, I'm fairly sure there was a bit...
Here's mostly the name on the cup thing.
Where they said, it doesn't matter if you win because we're still having the school anyway, so... You know, we got nothing to lose.
No, wait, no, because they actually just say, yeah, we get the school back. They're like, yeah, no, we're not even going to keep to that. And then their mother goes, how many of these special, we've just won the first Napalm Bowl?
Yeah, the kind of 64-ounce cans.
Yeah,
the champion can.
Because they pre-made them in advance with them as the winning team. And then mother said, I did not raise you to be this fiscally irresponsible. Drags them away by their ears. Rips up the contract for the school. and everything is okay again, except it's kind of a downer ending.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it seems like they've made up completely and everything's going to be great, the actual epilogue sequence is Jenny's in Paris. Doesn't seem to be talking to Brian at all. But actually, Brian, Ted, and Key are all still sort of out of the school, but still doing things
They're still
everyday
friends.
life. Yeah.
And didn't they pop over to Key's house to play her latest
No,
game?
it's Brian's house.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, it was Brian's
Yes.
house. They popped over to play Key's latest game.
It
So,
is a
was
really
a-
nice send
it
out
was
to
a
the final
bittersweet-
season.
Bittersweet ending.
It was. Seems just like going, that's not how it's meant to end. It should have ended like a minute before.
You didn't like
She's
the
finished Mass Effect now, by the way.
Oh, really?
All of them. She is now depressed,
All of
trying to
them?
find something to play.
epilogue? Oh, she has been going
Dragon
there for a
Age.
little while now.
Oh, I'll get her on Assassin's Creed, I guess.
Dragon Age.
She tried Dragon Age 1, she can't deal with the movement.
Parappa the Rapper.
She doesn't want to fuck around with emulators.
Then buy a PlayStation 1. It's not like they're like 8 pence nowadays in the second-hand market.
I own a PS1.
Well then.
I have all of the Sonys, sir.
GTA.
There's that. But make
Sure,
sure
something she can play on a PC.
Yeah, GTA.
Yeah, GTA.
Make sure she starts with the first one.
It's on Steam.
I don't think she'd like the first one very much.
First one's
It would
awesome.
be a bit too frustrating for her.
No, start with GTA 3.
Now, if they had Chinatown Wars, that's like GTA 1 perfected.
I really like the top-down style of GTA 1.
Yeah, Chinatown Wars is a throwback to top-down style.
Is it?
But a lot of the mechanics and writing of some of the later ones in the franchises.
Is it really
That was the
top-down?
handheld one.
Yeah.
I'm all over that shit. Where is it?
Yeah, it's the handheld one.
Grab the ROM, TK, for the PSP, and play it on my PSP.
What's that? I've got a Vita here.
Oh yeah, it's on the PlayStation Network as well. Actually, I think it's down to £3 at the moment on the PSN.
Hello, money.
Aha! But be warned, because you must top up a minimum of £5 to your Sony Entertainment Network wallet.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which means don't buy anything through the console. Buy multiple things through
With the PC.
the PC, yeah.
No, because I don't mind having a little bit of money in my PSN account. That's what ended up me getting some Soul Calibur 5.
Because all I wanted was like a couple of packs of for Minecraft, and I ended up having to buy more than I wanted to because it automatically topped up by a £5.
So the question then before we get towards ending the show is, are you going to have been caught up with S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash and Constantine by next week or within the next
Probably
couple of
not
weeks?
going to be caught up in Flash, but we all know that I don't actually mind spoilers.
Well,
I've
the
actually learned
Flash,
to
then-
anticipate things when I'm told about awesome shit. I can sit there and go, I have this to look forward to.
Yeah, the
Alright.
Flash then. You've watched Arrow Flash?
Randy is on PSN.
No, I haven't watched any Flash yet.
You haven't
caught a
watched
few
any
episodes of
Flash?
Gotham.
Where did you get to with Flash?
No, I haven't watched any Flash.
You've not watched
At
any?
all, no.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Venus.
I
We're
get the
now at
gist
the
of what's
point
going on
where-
by paying attention to the Gigosphere.
Well, we're now at the point where we've had the crossover with Arrow.
Yes. I
Which
heard
was
there's a
very
nice
cool
sort
episode.
of rivalry thing going on.
And the mid-season break is the introduction of Reverse Flash.
Mega
And-
Flash.
They've proven it's not Dr. Wells.
Are you sure?
They're in the same room at the same time,
This
and
proves
Reverse
nothing.
Flash kicks the shit out of Dr. Wells.
I've seen Bruce Wayne and Batman in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, but one of them was Superman. Shut up.
I've seen one where one of it was what's the fucking butler name?
Alfred.
Alfred. That was it. I've seen
Yeah.
an episode where it was him playing Batman.
And one of them, Wells, it was actually a stunt double who knew Bruce Wayne's secret and then was mind wiped. Remember that one time when the Joker was Alfred who just wanted to give Bruce something to live for? That was actually a really fucked up miniseries.
There's a couple of bits in this that are geek worthy. Firebrand appears. Basically, a guy who can become living fire reaction. I think that's the case. They don't make it too clear.
Not Firefly.
No, not
That was a
Firefly.
different series.
No, Firefly is one of the Marvel villains, isn't he? Trying, you know, the one with the
expecting
jetpack
Firestorm.
suit, throws fireballs at things.
You're expecting me
That
to know this
Firefly.
shit?
No, it's Firestorm.
What?
Because basically, Firestorm?
So my brain just suddenly went, who's even remember that Lego series? And I went, no, that was Mindstorm. Never mind. Not even I remember that Lego series.
But they've teased him in the series, but this is primarily the Reverse Flash appearing.
I've got a question.
Yes,
How asleep is Alex?
very.
I'm awake.
Okay.
But they have Reverse Flash appearing.
He's
they
sleepy
have
enough that if we make floaty arm movements, let him go, this is a dream. He would never realise we're
they
making a
have
reference to Sabrina
the
the
clear
Teenage Witch.
suggestion that he is also a time traveler. Because in the fight scene with Barry, it's totally, we've been doing this for some time, and I'm sat there going, this is the first time you've met.
God,
You're
I
clearly
feel
a
a
time
time travel
traveller.
headache coming on.
Yeah, it's Doctor Who levels of referencing. This is the first time we've met, but we've been doing this for some time. It's your destiny to always
As
lose
long
to
as
me.
it doesn't reach the Doctor Who comic relief special levels of time travelery.
Oh god.
No. But we have MacGuffin save, or a very convenient save. We have finally Barry professes his love to his best friend, which will undoubtedly cause issues later on. We have more batshit craziness.
Straight up MacGuffin doesn't actually do anything to advance the plot apart from just exist.
Generally, that's most superheroes.
Whereas, if it's actually referenced and then it's used at some point as the random Deus Ex Machina thing, that's a Chekhov's gun.
Dear me. But I've not gotten to the end of the mid-season, because TK called me just before I could finish watching this one.
What do you mean I called you?
You called in via the Google Plus that I'm now on.
Oh, right. So that was what you were doing when before the show started.
Yeah, I noticed because my phone picked it up before my laptop.
I see.
But yeah, I mean, it's really, really good series. I'm now annoyed that I'm going to have to wait until the end of January before anything comes back on.
Yep.
I kind of like that, the lag between systems. Like when Alex has his phone and PC on and Skype starts, and he climbs up on his phone, and by then the PC's just caught up and it starts ringing on the PC. It's always fun.
Put one on one side of the room, and then just call him and watch him get up, go over, look over his PC, and then curse at you.
Very much.
But now we've only got Christmas to look forward to.
And New Year's.
Yeah, there's that.
And we're not going to see you again until New
Well-
Year's time, are we?
We've got
After Christmas.
Yeah.
Agent Carter to look forward to,
There is that, yes.
which is
There's
a
been the reveal of...
1940s plots to Iron Man 1, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is,
been the reveal of who Sky actually is,
It's a TV company, isn't it?
the character. And
I
to be
had
honest,
the picture ready. Picture ready.
yeah,
Yeah, when they first said the words, did I say this last week or not? But the words ancient, aliens, and, Kree were mentioned in the same sentence. So I've got a
but
picture of the
but
guy from Ancient Aliens going, Kree.
the character they've revealed Sky to be has no connection to the Inhumans.
It doesn't matter. This is, think of
Oh, yeah, I know.
as the separate continuities.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like the DC, the comics are a separate continuity to the DC animated universe. Which in turn are a separate continuity to the games.
Which reminds me, I need to pick up the Ultimate Spider-Man episode with Deadpool in it.
Is Final Fantasy X for the Vita cheap yet?
I
I don't quite know how that managed to drag my marine to that, but
TK,
Yeah.
I have the physical copy.
I know.
You can borrow it.
But you know what I'm like with complete Final Fantasy X? It took me, what, 7-8 years last time?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when you borrowed my PSP for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
It's still in his room, innit?
Still here. It's what's powering the
2.5 years ago. No.
Could be around that, actually.
That's actually been well over a year and a half at least.
It's been a while.
Been at least one complete season.
Should charge him rent. But I think we've come to the end of the show, so I think we need to wrap up and let Alex fall asleep on the couch again.
No, I mean, it depends. Do you want to walk back, or bus, or taxi?
Walk.
We are walking, apparently.
That's just crazy talk. So, on that note, it is a good night from the sleeping Alex.
Night.
It's a good night from the not quite so sleepy Felis,
Good night.
he says. It's a good night from the still rather awake Xavier.
Good night.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of TigerTails Radio. We will be back next week, which will be the show just before Christmas.
Yay.
What's the show before Christmas?
And all through the show, we talked about nothing, because that's how we go.
It'll also be the week of
Sean Connery,
probably,
and he went into a bit of Yorkshire.
Yeah, why not?
also be the week of very little work because everyone's off on holiday.
I'm not. I'm working all through the Christmas season.
And he gets to work the skeleton shift.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So that...
Pointing at you with my thingy.
Yeah,
It's-
but it's going to be dead.
Come on,
Yeah, that's
people.
what I said. You get to work the skeleton shifts.
Yeah, but it's going to be dead. It's going to be like a holiday at
Hence,
work.
skeleton shift.
Night, night, everybody.
Night,
Night.
night.
Night,
Night, night.
Oh, we fucked up the voice of Legion.
Something tells me something hasn't quite gone according to plan.
Welcome to the after show.
Welcome to the secret hidden bits.
No sleeps for you.
If we'd have just ended the show a minute earlier...
What went on?
Huh?
It died, didn't it?
The PSP battery died, yeah.
Which PSP?
Your one.
Did you charge the extra battery?
No.
You should do that.
I'm charging a PSP just so we can get enough power just to end the show on. I thought, why has it gone all quiet suddenly? Oh, that's why. There's no battery left.
Is it plugged in through 3.5mm jack?
Yes.
Hang on.
Now what are you doing? I've
Me.
got power. That's fine.
Alright, because I was going to bring up YouTube on my tablet. Bring up God Save the Queen instrumental.
No, we're good.
And I was going to come in and go plug it in. Yeah, go on.
Pop. Yeah. Great. That will please Phantom Power. Should we have a slightly spanglier version then than normal? Just.
Oh, let's.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that. And now we can also try again with the good night since we fucked it up so badly last time.
I know, right? Okay, everybody.
Pete is still around.
Of course not.
Of course not.
He's scarpered.
He has run away.
Brave Sir Peter.
Yep, ran away. Up
So-
and ran away, he said. So, Phoenix, say good night.
Good night.
Alex, say good night.
Good night.
Xavier's gone. He doesn't wish you good night for a second time. And again, it's a good night for myself. TK, thank you very much for listening. We will see you again next week with an ending that might not break this time. Night, night, everybody. Night, night.